And now we are ready with our 2 players, and I'm so curious about the deck.
Yeah, and there is one player I recognise there to the right from the UK, actually, somebody I've played against in the past, so definitely excited to see them. We can see 2 Scrooge McDuck deck boxes, which is a really nice deck box.
Yeah.
But these players have already qualified for the European Championships.
Oh.
The prizes are now very much on the line. Of course, that top 16 prize is great, but we all know that top 8 prize is going to be that golden Mickey Mouse. We've got Hinnick from Belgium, we saw him on stream earlier, and James Molly to the right, also known as Mollers in the community on Amethyst Steel. So it's going to be Emerald and Steel going first. I would say, on average, that the Amethyst Steel player is probably favoured in this matchup.
Yes.
But the fact that Hinnick is going first, that's going to maybe even the playing field out a little bit. So it should be a very exciting, close contest in this top 32. The top cut's begun. We've now increased the round length to 70 minutes, and it will be a best of 3. Of course, the higher seed going first. Hinnick, the 3rd seed with Emerald Steel, is very impressive, Erica.
I'm so happy to see this deck because, yes, Steel Emerald, it's an incredible deck with an incredible strategies and an answer, yes.
Yep. Absolutely. So we see the Mulan come through. And they will be discarding, of course, 1 card. This is an opportunity maybe to get rid of an uninkable, but instead it's going to be Prince Philip.
Prince Philip. Yes, this Prince Philip have word.
Yep. Nice, solid card. It is an inkable, though, so Hinnick clearly feeling comfortable with his hand in terms of uninkables. It's going to be James with the Diablo into the ink and Captain Hook contesting this Mulan on the board. Both players with a Steel 1-drop to kick things off.
Yes. Bobby. No, not his Bobby. Another Mulan to draw and discard another card, of course.
I have a feeling, Erica, that we might be seeing that turn to fire the cannons. Calhoun is discarded.
Is in discard. Yes, of course.
And my favorite opening at the moment is, I think, what we're about to see, the fire the cannons on Captain Hook, which is slightly ironic, Captain Hook being on the receiving end of the cannons.
Yes, because Captain Hook is a problem in the board.
And this is meaning now that James has no characters on the board. Hinnick with 2.
No.
So starting to get that early board
Another
advantage.
Diablo in the ink to play Calhoun. Oh.
Yeah, and Calhoun, a really good character to contest these Mulans. Of course, 3 strength, 2 willpower, but with resist 1, it will be able to challenge those Mulans and remain on the board and gain 2 lore, Erica.
It's amazing. I'm in love with Calhoun. Oh, Prince Philip is in Italian says Principe. Principe Filippo.
Principe
yes.
Filippo.
It's easy.
That is easy. I have a good teacher.
Thank you. Rafiki into the ink to play Genie. Genie is an incredible Genie because in the turn of the player is evasive.
Yep.
Yes.
Really good to deal with cards, potentially like Dumbo, of course. Both players are using Steel.
Of course.
And we expect to see 4 copies of Strength of a Raging Fire in each player's decks.
And now?
So will we see any of these 3 cost characters singing Strength of a Raging Fire? That can be a really strong opening and an advantage for the player going first to get that Strength of a Raging Fire through first.
Oh, Strength on Calhoun. Of course.
Yep, there it is.
Yes, because Hank have 3 characters on the board, and yes, this is a good choice. Okay.
And now that Calhoun's gone...
Quest with Mulan. Yes,
yeah, you wouldn't want that Calhoun challenging these Mulans. So now that it's gone, very interesting, though, that this Strength of a Raging Fire, it wasn't sung by Prince Philip, but rather just paying 3 ink for that, wanting to leave this Prince Philip ready and not allowing the Genie to get it. This is an incredibly interesting play, Erica, because as we see Arthur inked, Genie's going to sing Strength, but the ward of Prince Philip is so strong here.
And we saw Arthur into the ink to play Esma.
Yep. And
Esma is a good card.
It's so interesting that Hinnick last turn paid the ink to play strength. Prince Philip's now still ready. Pete comes through, 3 characters on the board. Strength of a Raging Fire will now be sung by Prince Philip.
Yes, of course. Esma is a problem.
This was an amazing play by Hinnick. The foresight to spend a whole turn using strength, and no ink from Hinnick either, just happy to stay at 3 ink. That Pete Games referee upside down to show no actions can be played.
Genie, of course, now banish Prince Philip.
And there comes the Elsa. So James now is at 5 ink and Hinnick at 3. Despite Hinnick being the player going first, there is a big advantage in terms of ink for James, who has a dock in hand.
Another Prince Philip.
And it's going to be Pete also questing.
Yes. What do you think about this Prince Philip?
I love it. With the ward.
Okay. This is the first time that I see this Prince Philip.
Yep.
Okay.
There's the dock from James. Lilo is inked. It's a Fire the Cannons and a Rafiki that they find. So not the best couple of cards.
Rafiki
You
is
like
on the
Rafiki.
board.
Yesterday, what were you calling Rafiki?
Yes, I'm in love with Rafiki.
Rafiki.
With some.
Yeah.
And yes, James have a good board because Elsa is a good character and Rafiki have 3 of challenge. But in the other board, Prince Philip is a good character because have a word.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be Bobby. Played for 1, and Louis is discarded. Remember, still 3 ink and only 1 card in hand, I believe, right now for Hinnick. 2 maximum, but I think it's just 1. It's Go-Go.
Go-Go is here.
Yeah, and not even enough ink there to use the ability of Go-Go to gain 2 lore. And you can start to see why I figured this might be a tricky matchup for Hinnick as James with the Elsa, Erica.
Another Fire the Cannon on Bobby.
James is taking over this match. Hinnick is still at 3 ink. They need to find a dock, and they need to find it right now.
Another Calhoun. Okay, this is the time of James. Draw a card, prepare the ink, and...
Just leaves that 1 card in hand. I didn't catch what it is.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Quest with these evasive Elsas. Of course, Doc and Rafiki are ready and cannot be challenged. So they're safe from Calhoun. But we're seeing Hinnick now take an entire turn off to ink a Louis. Not even developing that card onto the board.
Okay. Ink quest with all characters. It's so interesting choice.
Yep. James has 2 cards in hand. One of them is a giant cobra.
For 4? Genie, he's here and draw a card.
And look at this. James is finding all the tools, the Genie and the Dock.
Oh, it's so aggressive.
Working together nicely. In comes Captain Hook just for good measure.
Okay.
Rafiki takes out Prince Philip. Of course, this Calhoun with resist. Elsa's could take it out, but it would require both.
Yes. James have a good board because Captain Hook is a free.
Hinnick with the
Ursula.
It's a dock in hand, and look at Hinnick's face like,
No
yeah, okay.
song,
I didn't want to see that.
For Ursula. Ink smile.
Yeah, big old smile, but it's James now with the Yzma with another dock. The 3 docks of dreams for James.
But did you see the James hand?
Oh my goodness, is there another one?
I saw a Dumbo.
Okay, Dumbo's in the mix.
Dumbo, yes.
And James with so many characters on board. I think that might be story on board for James as Hinnick plays the Clarabelle, plays the Merfolk. James is going to ready, and they're going to quest for victory, Erica.
This is the perfect moment. Go. So, it's so speed.
Yeah, so much speed, Erica. Whenever we seem to cast together, it's always fast-paced action. That was an absolute belter of a first game. James really showing us the power of Amethyst and Steel there. That extra little bit of card draw made all the difference, didn't it? The Genie's finding the docks find the other docks. And for Emerald Steel, you're really relying on Dock for your card draw. If you don't find it, maybe there's some Clarabelles in there. We saw the 3-cost Clarabelle. I don't think the Floodborn Clarabelle is in this deck. It's more aggressive. If you miss Dock, you miss a lot of your card draw.
Yes. I saw an aggressive board for G.
Yep.
Yes, and yes, it was a beautiful, beautiful match.
It was.
And
What's been your favorite moment, Erica, of the weekend so far before we jump into game two?
The double shift of Mulan.
The double shift
of
of Mulan
course,
yesterday.
double shift of Mulan is so insane.
It was such a good play.
Moment, yes.
If you didn't catch it, it was Ruby Amber playing yesterday. They had 2 cards in hand, and 10 ink, and as it turned out, it was 2 Mulans. They had the legendary Mulan on the board. It got shifted, and then they shifted another one onto the Floodborn, and suddenly you had, what was it, a 8 strength
Yes,
Mulan?
but today I saw 1 Ruby Amethyst.
Amazing.
Oh, I'm so in love.
Yeah. We're going to go on to game 2. James will again be going second on the draw, but they got the job done in the first one there. Hinnick will be going first.
This is the mulligan time.
Yeah.
This is the mulligan time. It's so important time. And now our player are ready.
Yeah, ready to go into
Yes.
game number 2. So Hinnick here, if you've got that dock in the opening hand, I'm pretty sure you're going to keep it.
And I want to remember to all Illumineers that for the top 60, we have our Elsa playmat.
Yes.
Oh.
And for the top...
Did you see the Elsa playmat?
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Wow, so beautiful.
So
So
being in the
beautiful.
top 32, these players have already got the Elsa promo card, which is amazing. But you're playing here for that top 16 Elsa playmat, but of course, 2 games away from that golden Mickey Mouse. It's going to be Curse Merfolk down on the board on turn 1 for Hinnick, looking to go quickly.
And Jafar into the ink. Oh, to fire the cannon. Wow.
Yeah, fire the cannons in both players' decks, doing the business and dealing with that Curse Merfolk for James.
Bobby, he's here.
Of course, Bobby, you draw a card, and then you're going to have to discard a card afterwards. Gets rid of an Inkable again, Hinnick. We saw them do that in the previous game, and then maybe not have an abundance of ink. They ended up at 3 ink for a very, very long time.
Yes. Prince Philip into the ink to play another Bobby. Yes, Bobby is a good card to find some answer, some option.
And help find your docks
Yes.
maybe as well.
Yes.
We see a lot of these Emerald Steel decks playing Emerald Chromicon. If you have too many of those in hand, it can be handy. And I love the double 1-drop on turn 2 from both players. James, though, with the Captain Hook and the Rafiki, very good cards to contest more aggressive decks with those challenger abilities. And these Bobbies don't really have much of a chance up against Rafiki and Captain Hook. Of course, Bobby has a great on-play effect, but as a result, its stats not as impressive.
Another
Wow.
Captain Hook.
All the 1-drops.
And Fred.
Look at that. Turn 2 from Hinnick, not even inking. This is a player that got 3rd place in Swiss. They know what they're doing, but it's fascinating to see that decision not to ink on turn number 2. Strength of a Raging Fire will be inked, though. So that was their 3rd turn.
Oh, Chromicon.
There's the
He's
Chromicon.
here.
And I think the Chromicon is the
Emerald
key
Chromicon,
to
yes.
success for Hinnick. It's a very complicated card to play
Yes.
against, Erica.
Yes. And now, the player talk.
James is going to draw.
Oh.
What have you seen, Erica? There's a dock, there's a genie. Is there an inkable card? I
Yes,
believe there's
and
a couple.
Elsa.
Yep. Now, this Emerald Chromicon you can see in the bottom left during your opponent's turn, so that's right now because it's Hinnick's Emerald Chromicon. Whenever James banishes one of Hinnick's characters, Hinnick will be able
genie?
to return a card to a player's hand.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's very, very important that James starts planning out his turn immediately. You can't just take a challenge and then be, surprised by the Chromicon. James needs to predict what will get bounced back. It's going to be the Captain Hook. We might see now
Yes.
Rafiki. Imagine if James was to, example, play like a genie right now and then challenge. That would give Hinnick the opportunity to return the genie to James's hand. So James has planned out his turn, planned out his challenges, and gets the genie and Captain Hook back down onto the board.
It's so hard playing with the Chromicon
Yeah.
and the Opal Bird because, yes, it's a good card. With
Curse
a stack,
Merfolk.
of course. Yes.
There's the dock!
Oh! I saw another threat.
Okay, another Fred.
Yes.
Captain Hook will challenge Rafiki and live to tell the tale. Fred is going to quest. Fred, of course, whenever banished in a challenge, gaining 2 lore. This Emerald Chromicon makes all the difference for this deck in this matchup. It looked like Hinnick's deck was just not very good in the first game up against this Amethyst Steel, but I think the Emerald Chromicon and the Dock are the 2 secret cards which we didn't see in game number 1, which can maybe make a difference in this second match.
Jin is challenging Captain Hook, and Captain Hook is banished.
Yeah, return to hand the Captain Hook. Now, just to let you guys know, of course, at the top cut in Disney Lorcana, TCG challenges, it is open deck list. So each player had the opportunity before the game started to look at their opponent's deck and see exactly how many copies of each card they are playing. And it's an entirely different skill, having to remember all of those things. As we see Elsa rush in, exerting the Cursed Merfolk, banishing the Cursed Merfolk, and discarding the Genie. Really interesting to look at Hinnick's list. We've got it in front of us.
Yeah.
One thing that catches the eye, there's actually 4 copies of the Emerald Chromicon. We're used to seeing 2, maybe 3, but Hinnick going with all 4, which really shows you how important this card is with their game plan. They have those Mulans, they have the Bobbies as well to discard them if they draw too many at once. Big turn, though, with Calhoun and Fred joining the party.
Oh, wow.
5 lore to 0.
Draw a card, and I saw Lilo. But, okay, with Elsa, challenge Fred.
Yeah, Fred's so interesting because you kind of just want to ignore it and say, okay, I won't challenge it, you'll never gain that extra lore, and then it just quests for 1 a turn. But if you do that for too long and don't respect the Fred, Fred is just going to continue to rack up the lore, and eventually you're going to have to challenge.
Captain Hook is here.
Yep, Genie and Hook for 4 ink for James. Inks the Lilo. Play passes on over to Hinnick. It's 7 lore to 0 in favor of Hinnick.
Ink have 7 point of legend, 7 lore, and James is 0.
Yep, Doc comes through. That Emerald Chromicon synergizing so nicely with Doc being able to return it to hand.
Ursula, but James don't have a song.
James has that 1 card left in hand that we so often see with the best Steel players. It's that copy of Doc in hand, the Bold Knight. That Jurassic Measures ability is so strong and provides that all-important card draw. James is going to ready and draw a card. The Chromicon staring him down, Lilo in hand. So fascinating to see so many Lilos in the deck for James. How many Lilos are in the deck of James here, Erica?
2.
Okay, and we've seen actually both of them.
2 copy of Lilo.
So interesting.
Lilo, best explorer ever.
And there we see the Emerald Chromicon and Doc synergy yet again. We're often expecting to see
Doc!
the Emerald Chromicon bounce back one of James' characters, but instead Hinnick is using it to draw more cards of their own as Rafiki joins the party for James. But that Doc is back in Hinnick's hand. They've got 5 ink available. It's 10 lore to 1. James has got their first lore on the board. Pete! No actions. He blows his whistle. And there's that Doc again, which was bounced back thanks to the Emerald Chromicon.
Yes, Pete against Steel player is a so incredible card to stop all the action.
Fire the cannons. Going for the Genie. Calhoun finishing the job. That will be a trade, but Calhoun gaining 2 lore for their troubles. It's going to be a quest for 3 with the Cursed Merfolk and the Ursula. And Hinnick is threatening to win very, very soon. The board is questing for 5, which means there is story on board, and James is going to have to remove at least one of these characters. Elsa exerts Doc.
Elsa, yes.
Captain Hook importantly takes Doc out. That means the Emerald Chromicon, of course, can't bounce the Doc back. So I love the ordering from James here to prioritize challenging Doc. Again, whenever you're playing against that Emerald Chromicon, it's you that has all the decisions to make.
Okay, with Rafiki, challenge Ursula.
Do we ever see Hinnick bounce back their own cursed Merfolk here, as then they could replay it next turn ready? Instead, removing that Elsa. And then, of course, the cursed Merfolk, when it's banished, can discard one of the cards in James's hand.
Oh.
Very, very fascinating game here. Captain Hook going to be bounced back to hand with the Chromicon, but it's replayed onto the board. Hinnick going to be drawing for turn. I don't believe there's any cards in hand right now.
Yes. Emerald Chromicon is insane card.
There's Go-Go!
Oh!
That's 2 lore out of nowhere, and Go-Go on the board means that the Emerald Chromicon can bounce back this Go-Go. But Elsa was in hand. That's so fascinating.
Whoa.
Because James takes the Rafiki challenge. I was expecting James to play the Elsa, exerting the Go-Go, removing the Go-Go from the board, and denying Hinnick being able to return that Go-Go to hand. I talked about the ordering there, and look at the smile from James, perhaps realizing what they've just done. There's a Go-Go in hand, and there's an Elsa with 2 damage. That's a scoop. Wow, and that is the power of the Emerald Chromicon, Erica. One tiny little error can cost you so much. I think James here had to play the Elsa, exerting the Go-Go, challenge the Go-Go, removing it from the board, and then it can't be bounced back into the hand. We saw him do the same play on the dock, a big Disney Lorcana tournament about 1.5 years ago in Poland.
Yeah.
I played against him in my first ever Top Cut game. So he's someone that I always like to see.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah, my first ever game in a Top Cut was against James.
Yes.
James starting things off with this giant Cobra into the ink and the Diablo onto the board. It's going to be Heathcliff into the ink, which is a 4-cost card with Ward.
Yes.
And Mulan comes through.
Oh. Heathcliff. He's here in the ink.
Of course, still needing to discard a card. Will we see an uninkable? It's that Prince Philip again.
Yes.
Going into the discard. James going to draw for turn. Diablo.
Okay, Quest with Diablo. And gain 1 lore. And now, Bell into the ink to play Calhoun. Yes, this is a classic start.
Yeah, and I have to say, going back to this last game, while I think James might have made a bit of an error against that Chromicon towards the end, at least that's my analysis of it, I think they were in a very tight spot regardless. I think that Hinnick was in a really, really strong position with that Chromicon. But I'm sure, James now, the sign of a good player is to put something like that behind you. Don't let that drag you down. Move on and fully focus. Mindset is so important at these tournaments. Being able to just move on, not let something sit on your mind for too long, and just focus on what you can do moving forward.
Lewis going to the discard, and another Lewis into the ink.
Yep. And there's no fire the cannons here. 1 ink still unused. As we go back on over to James, it's their 3rd turn. They can go up to 3 ink. Of course, in these steel battles, you're often looking for someone to have a 3-cost character and then sing Strength of a Raging Fire. But Ursula Deceiver on the Emerald side is always a threat. So James maybe consciously not keeping any song cards in hand. Perhaps it's just a coincidence.
For free, Genie. Genie would evasive.
Diablo's going to quest for 1.
Of course.
And it's back on over to the Emerald Steel player. This is game number 3. 44 minutes still left on the clock in this round. We're not going to need all that time, I think, Erica.
Another Lewis into the ink to play Pete. No action now.
Yeah, and favoring the Pete here over the other 3-cost character, because this stops James singing Strength this turn.
Yes.
And maybe Hinnick, if they can get their Strength through first, it gives them a really good chance of dealing with this Genie. So I really like the Pete play here.
Yes.
playing around the potential strength of a Raging Fire from James.
James have 4 lore, and yes, is on the play.
Yep. 3 ink for Hinnick. Gonna be going for that Emerald Chromicon. There it is, Erica.
Chromicon is here. Oh, so hard.
And what I want to see from James now is perhaps learning from, as we see the strength. There it is, going for the Calhoun.
Yes, of course.
The Genie wouldn't have been able to have been taken out.
Oh.
Bobby takes out Diablo. But what I want to see, Erica, from James now is they've got 43 minutes on the clock. Okay, the last game they were probably losing anyway, but they maybe didn't plan out their turn exactly, and they were sort of surprised by the Chromicon. So I would love to see James really slow the game down right now. You've got all the time in the world. The stakes could not be higher.
Yes.
This is your time to really, really play slowly and think through your decisions. I'm sure the chat is going to want James to play as quickly as possible because it's fun to watch. But the sign of a really strong player and an experienced player is when to play quickly and when to slow down. And I think right now is the time to slow down.
Yes. James must be aggressive in this moment because, yes, this is the... Oh, 4-4. Play Dumbo. Dumbo is a good evasive card. And at the moment, James have another evasive card is Genie.
Okay.
And Quest with Genie for 2.
Erica, this is such a crucial turn. James here has made a decision to go for a specific game plan against the Emerald Chromicon. The Emerald Chromicon, when your opponent, the owner of the Chromicon is at 19 lore, your opponent's forced to challenge you. However, a weakness of this card is if James can just get ahead here, they can just ignore all of Hinnick's characters. Double dock. And what I think James is going for here is they're going for a strategy where they just start questing. They try and get as much lore as possible, and then they never have to challenge, and the Chromicon then can't hurt them.
Another strength. Oh, on?
We'll have to see, though, if this strategy for James will work out.
Yes, on Genie.
Genie dealt with by the strength. This was such a crucial turn from James, but suddenly the board of Hinnick is looking really strong. A wide board of 5 different characters, each only questing for 1, but with docks down on the board and that Emerald Chromicon, if James takes any challenges, we might see a dock return to Hinnick's hand, and then they can just start refilling, drawing more cards, and going even wider.
Yes, I saw Elsa in the James hand, and oh, this is a good characters for the moment, but Cobra, I saw, oh. James have a good choice.
5 ink available again with that Emerald Chromicon. Really hoping to see James just slow themselves down. The pressure really is on them. That's what this Chromicon does. You can sit back and relax, and it makes your opponent, it just asks so many questions of your opponent. You have to plan that turn out from start to finish. How am I going to challenge? When am I going to play a card? When am I questing? And in exactly what order am I going to do this? You have to predict, okay, if I challenge here, what is my opponent going to bounce back to hand with that Emerald Chromicon?
Okay, yes. This is a hard moment to James.
Yeah, and James has to do so much maths here because what he might decide to do is he might just decide to double down on this game plan of just questing and ignoring Hinnick's board. But that could backfire if Hinnick is just able to equalize the board with cards like Strength and start questing themselves and applying some pressure. So it's a fascinating and extremely well-poised match of Disney Lorcana. Remember, these players are playing for the top 16, that Elsa playmat, and of course, 1 step closer to that golden Mickey, the serialized Mickey. Brave little Taylor. James, I'm loving this, Erica. This is exactly what I wanted to see. James is taking his time, and so they should. There is 39 minutes on the clock.
Because
this is it. This is what I want to see, Erica.
Oh.
Just looking at the discard, making all of those decisions and really assessing exactly what is going on right now.
Yes, because this is a top 32.
Yep.
This is an important moment for the player, for the game. And James, take time. And it's so important.
Elsa will be inked. That's his first decision. He's going for the strategy. He's committing, Erica.
Ooh.
And we see Calhoun Rafiki.
Okay.
I don't think James has any cards left in hand right now, Erica. And they are just questing right now and potentially threatening to get to 20 very soon. But what will Hinnick's response be? Can they equalize this board state? Can they take advantage of the vanish keyword on that giant cobra with something like an improvise, perhaps? Fire the cannons is in the deck. That's one way of dealing with it. In fact, I'm looking at the deck list. 4 fire the cannons, 3 strength of a raging fire. The only way, sorry, 3 fire the cannons, 4 strength. The only way to remove this giant cobra with the vanish keyword.
Yes, Ink have only 2 cards in the hand. And, whoa.
So James is really trying to take advantage of the weakness of this Emerald Chromicon. Hinnick spent 3 ink to develop it, and currently it's done nothing. James has just said, okay, you can play your Chromicon. I'm just going to ignore everything you're doing, but Pete will be singing. And look at the reaction from James, leaning back in his chair slightly. They did not want to see that strength of a raging fire. Down goes the Dumbo.
Oh, Dumbo. And another Jafar is in the ink board. Oh, Genie.
And now James with 3 characters, but look at that. Hinnick with 5 different characters will quest with those docks, or as they're called in, I suppose, French,
yes.
Prof.
James is on top deck.
Here we go. Big moment, Erica. Obviously, James going to be looking for a dock, going to be looking for a Dolores, one of these kinds of cards that can draw you some cards.
Dolores is a good card for this moment.
And is James just doubling down? They absolutely will be. It's the big quest. It's going to be Calhoun challenging a dock. But now the Emerald Chromicon can trigger. Returning the other dock back to hand, not using it offensively. Now James plays the Yzma.
Yes.
Great ordering from James, who is 5 lore away, and that is story on board. They can quest for 5, and with that Calhoun in play, if Hinnick's not careful, Calhoun could also seal the deal. In comes the dock. In comes the Mulan. They have to discard a card.
Discard Captain Hook and
Prince Philip.
Play Prince Philip, yes.
No more cards left in hand right now for either player. All the cards are on the board. James can quest for 5. And of course, with that Calhoun, if the Calhoun takes a challenge, they could gain 6 lore next turn without playing anything else. So Hinnick has to remove, I would imagine they might remove the Calhoun and possibly the Rafiki. But the Yzma ability could be so good here, Erica.
No. I'm in love with Yzma ability because when you play Yzma, if exert Yzma, if you have fewer than 3 cards in your hand, draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. And this is a so great ability, yes.
Now, James can quest right now for 4. Giant Cobra off the top wouldn't actually do it because of the fact you need a card to discard. James might want to play the card. They might want to ink it and then use the Yzma ability. Maybe they want to quest. That Emerald Chromicon is still in play. Hinnick's side of the board, questing for 7.
Yes.
So not quite story on board for Hinnick yet. They're threatening to get to 16. James also has to keep in the back of his mind at all times the go-go. You need to play around that a little bit. James might even just wonder, do I just quest with my Yzma? And do I just play my other character?
Yes.
We don't know what James has in hand. I didn't catch it. I'm sure someone in Twitch chat might have, though. Big shout out to everybody watching at home here at the Disney Lorcana Challenge in Bologna. This is the top 32. It's going to be an amazing afternoon.
The player that will win this game going to top 60, guys.
I am really enjoying this matchup. It's fascinating to watch. I love the way that James is playing it so far in this game 3. but it is so finely balanced. Now, in theory, no, I'm wondering if they could go like Ink, use the Yzma ability, and then Cobra, but even that wouldn't do it. So James, again, slowing down. I like to see this. Just taking their time.
Yes.
There's 33 minutes, and every decision is so crucial. We saw what happened
So crucial moment,
in
yes.
game 2 when you don't plan out your turn against the Emerald Chromacon. It can very, very quickly turn very, very bad. So James is being so methodical here, as they so should.
I can see the
Quests! Just quests!
Oh!
Doesn't use
And
the
now
Yzma
for
ability.
free?
Strength?
Oh.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Okay, so James goes for the strength on Jafar. Now the Chromacon can come through. We could have seen strength inked and Yzma drawing 3 cards, or we could have seen Yzma just drawing 2 cards, or just playing the strength and drawing 3. But James decides, rather than drawing 3 quests for 2 with Yzma, that's the key decision here. James decides, rather than drawing 3 cards right now, they would rather have 2 lore.
Duck to draw 2 cards. Oh, I saw a fire cannon in the ink hands.
Oh my goodness, well that is what is needed. Remember, open deck lists, the only way to get rid of this giant Cobra with Vanish is fire the cannons or strength. So I think that James is just banking on neither of those cards being found. Mulan can challenge and take out Rafiki. Prince Philip can challenge and take out Yzma, but that giant Cobra is a problem. That's why James has gone for this line. He is saying, if you don't find a fire the cannons or a strength of a raging fire, I will win. Look at James's face, though. There's the perfect response.
And now?
Curse Merfolk comes down, but James is 1 lore away. Hinnick has to still challenge and remove all of James's characters, and they're not going to be questing for much as a result. I really like the play from James, but imagine if James top decks another strength or top decks a fire the cannons. They pass the turn. They can't believe it.
This is the finish of the round.
They can't believe it.
Yes.
Prince Philip requests for 2 off the top.
Oh my God.
That is an amazing top deck as it quests for 2. And suddenly, James is facing Story on board. It was a strength of a raging fire that they found the previous turn. Now it's a dock. They could go dock, no trigger, hard cast strength to remove Merfolk, but it's not going to be enough.
Okay.
They find 2 more docks. Calhoun, Rafiki, they can't stop the board. What a reaction.
Whoa.
What a twist of the tale. James can't believe it. Unbelievable finish in this one. James thought they had it.
Result.
Look at the reactions from both players. This is why we play Disney Lorcana trading card game for moments like this. That was absolutely incredible.
I'm in love with reaction of Ink.
And this is the playmat that has just been won in